Come with me as I answer 26 stock queries for our various members. To start with, we have Mr. Sai. He is asking for the analysis of Lloyd Sen. So let's go into the stock of Lloyd's Engineering. This is the 3 minute time frame. We'll start from the largest one. So I can see very strong bull trend, and the stock is also adhering to the bull range quite well. Let's get some trend lines drawn on this, and just like magic, the stock is also respecting the trend lines very well. Here it has given a nice little breakout, and this looks like it can take a little bit more correction. So from an Elliott wave count, if I have to tell you, or better, let's just look at the Fibonacci on this. I would expect this level of 61.8% retracement to get tested, and also I want to see the stock retest this trend line again. Now remember, this volume, so basically this little bit of volatility that has occurred here on the stock has also happened against high volumes, which is a little concerning for us. Also, from a very short term perspective, let's take a look at the 75-minute time frame. This was a good enough rally, but the problem is that this rally kind of lacked a little participation. Like this rally, if you see, whenever the price was going up, the volume did increase, which was quite comforting. But that only happened on like very selective candles, maybe in the last part. But anyway, I would be more comfortable waiting for Lloyd's engine work to basically reach the level of around 53, 52, and then I would like to assess going long on this. You're saying you already have 100 quantity. Unfortunately, you've not mentioned what these 100 quantities mean in terms of your total portfolio. So try mentioning how much percentage allocation you've done. And specifically for this stock, if I have to look at the volumes, I am seeing this is a mid cap company, so I wouldn't recommend you to invest more than 5 to 8% of your total portfolio. So we have Abhilesh next, and he's asking for the analysis of IOB. Is it good time to buy more shares? Price is now 67, pretty much close. Now, even though he's asked on 26th May, the price is still hovering at 67 after the dip. He also wants to know the stop loss, and his average cost price is 62. So you did experience a bit of a decline here, but let's take a look at the broad chart first. So strong momentum. I feel like the better part of the rally is already behind on IOB, and moving forward, I am expecting the banks to be a bit of a disappointment. IOB, in my opinion, will again become attractive when it goes above the resistance of 75. Before that, maybe not so much, because that's a very important resistance currently. And I would honestly expect IOB to go back and retest this key trend line that we have resting on the chart here. The daily time frame right now is not looking that bullish. The 75-minute is looking bullish, but then the volume activity, well, the volume activity has been positive up to this very peak, and now we see that this decline happened against weak volume. Again, volume increased. So the volume activity is actually giving strong indications on the chart. So your stop loss here will have to be a little bit below here, the level of 58. Even if I'd assessed this stock for you sooner, this is the stop loss that I would have asked you to maintain around 58 rupees. And as for the target, considering that the 75-minute time frame still continues to look bullish, conservative target for the stock would be this previous peak, which it has already tested around 83. Now, my problem with IOB at this point is that the risk reward ratio is not very attractive. Even if we check from your current price of 62, your stop loss is still around 5.6 and your target is 35%. But from the current market price, your stop loss is around 12.5 and your target is around 24. Risk reward right. And here on the 75-minute time frame, a small negative divergence was noticed, but it's fine. because the correction against that has already occurred and I don't see a positive divergence. I have a feeling that IOB can again take it to somewhere around 61 rupees, and for anybody who might want to add more of IOB in their portfolio, I think that 65 or 61 rupees would actually be a good support with the stop loss at 58 rupees. Now let's look at NHPC. Is it good to buy at rupees 100 and your cost price is 87? I mean, that's what you've mentioned, so I will believe it. So your position is already in profit, but it has seen a bit of an erosion. I also see that the 20 EMA has been acting pretty good support for NHPC. However, from a broad perspective, what I'm seeing is that this stock has already created a high and tried to go above that but failed. Sure, we'll cut some slack because the overall market activity has been very negative. But what is the reason for this negative divergence on the daily time frame? This is what is a bit of a concern for me personally. I wouldn't invest fresh capital in NHPC because of this chart development. In fact, I would wait for the stock to sustain above the level of 115 before I committed capital, because the chart is a little bit disturbed at this point of time. The volume activity is mixed, it's kind of high. The volume activity is quite high near the tops on both sides of increase and decrease, which is concerning for me. This kind of mixed volume activity is usually a sign of top out, so I wouldn't be very keen about this. But yes, if I had an active position like the one that you do, I would maintain this previous low as my stop loss level. So 90 rupees is where your stop loss should lie. Even in this election day crisis, the level of 90 was not breached, which is a testimony of just how strong that support is and how valid it is as a potential stop loss for you. Now let's use this Fibonacci tool to draw an extension here. Sorry, I meant to do it the other way. So this is a projection. So this I can see is the 0.61. So the correction, so this, if you draw Fibonacci retracement, okay, different tool on this, what I am seeing is that the rally was corrected by 50%. Since then we've started to try and go back up, but here we are seeing some resistance. Again, the 75-minute time frame, to be honest, is still looking like it's in a pretty solid bull range, and it actually is not looking so bad. See, here there clearly is a resistance at 113 rupees, so I would want the stock to sustain above 115 to leave some buffer for a fake breakout, and I would maintain a target of around 140 rupees on NHPC. Fresh entry is not recommended in NHPC, but yes, if you have existing holding, continue to hold that with stop loss in place. Now let's take a look at GTL Infra. So Mr. Bajrang Daga is asking that he's holding the stock for long term, so he wants my suggestion. Now this stock, GTL Infra, unfortunately this doesn't offer a lot to analyze on the daily time frame. On the weekly time frame, however, it is suggesting a renewed bull trend, and my suggestion to you would be continue holding as long as this trend line is not breached. So this trend line becomes your target, and based on the momentum that I'm seeing, also the volume it appears like the volume is catching up to some extent. So I would expect the stock to test the target of around 8 rupees before maybe another leg of correction if it has any strength to its name, right? But because this is a super illiquid stock, and I believe it's also it's a small cap, it's a very, very small cap company. My recommendation to you would be to make sure that your overall portfolio exposure is low on this stock, and use this trend line that I've drawn as a stop loss, which doesn't really leave a lot of value because the trend line is anyway 40% away from your price, but continue to hold for the long term. So Satvik is asking for the analysis of Masdaq, and he's asking should he hold. His cost price is around the level of 3386, so you've bought it right before the election results, it seems. But don't worry, Mazdoc is a very good company, very good stock, and even the election result volatility actually saw very little volume. Even though the price did suffer slightly, but the volume was very, very low. My personal target on this stock is this upper trend line, which is around 5600 rupees. So you don't have to worry, you can continue to hold the stock for a good one, at least from today. The volume pickup again as the price improves is significant, so hold the stock with a lot of confidence and maintain a stop loss around the level of 2760. Now let's look at sale for Mr. Bose, and he wants to know whether it's a good idea to buy sale at this point. My personal opinion is that PSE stocks have already given a very, very strong rally, and most PSE stocks are now showing, including the PSE index, are now showing RSI negative divergences on the daily time frame. Also, the selling that occurred on the election day results, that is the 4th of June, was pretty high volume, so that doesn't give me a lot of confidence to give a buy recommendation on sale at this point. So my answer to you would be no. For Mr. Anand Mandal, now let's take a look at Angel One. Is this stock going to crash or form a bearish rectangle? Well, whether the stock is going to crash or not, I don't know, but I am personally not so attractive on this stock, primarily because my overall view on the market is slightly bearish. So typically when the bear market is bearish, stocks like CDSL, BSE, Angel One tend to suffer. Now what I'm seeing is that this stock has already been suffering since January, and the market was not even technically bearish because we never formed on the broad market indices. But even though the market stopped being super bullish, this stock has suffered quite a bit. But what is this I'm seeing here? On the daily time frame, there is a small positive divergence. And the volume, if we see, the volume is not very helpful, bit of a mixed profile. I'm seeing the volume sometimes increase during uptrend, downtrend. So there is a bit of a confusion. And here if we see, well, this decline did not happen against super high volumes, but so this, the last part of the decline, so the decline actually on 4th of June did happen against pretty strong volumes here, versus this rally which we've seen on the 5th and the 6th did not see a lot of volume activity, which is not very good news. So in my opinion, Angel One has already, even though it has corrected significantly, I don't think it is a time to start buying it yet. I would wait for a little bit more correction, or at least the appearance of a little bit more confirmation on the chart first. So here if I draw off, last time it corrected around 38.2%. And here we are. So this was a nice little correction. So it does look like the correction might be over, but it's a little premature, I would say, to go ahead and purchase this stock, even though there is a small positive divergence on 75 as well as the daily time frame. But I would rather reassess the stock when the 15-minute time frame RSI came back to the level of 30, not jump the gun at this stage. Now for Varun, let's look at AB Capital. His average price is around 225. That's his average price, and it's not looking very attractive. I am not very bullish on the financial sector stocks anymore, because again the charts have started to look weak, and I'm expecting more correction in these stocks specifically. So until that correction really happens, I am not keen to participate. They don't look so bullish. I would wait for the daily to come back to the level of 40 before I can find my comfort in going long on financial sector stocks again. Honestly, my opinion for ABC Capital specifically would be to exit at this point of time. So Brijesh wants to know whether Coforge will rally and go to 5800. His average cost price is 41, and let's see whether it's likely to go to 5800. So there was a very clear-cut negative divergence here, but the stock price has already declined quite a bit. And if we took a Fibonacci of this entire rally, it was already covered exactly 61.8% Fibonacci correction, and it seems to have already turned up. Now this has been a very volatile move, but I think Coforge is done declining, and it has given a really, really strong rally, I would say, since the 13th of May. And even the election results did not derail it quite a lot. And more importantly, this rally that occurred was against strong volumes, but this decline against weak volumes, and again the recovery, in the recovery the volume hasn't caught up, but I think it is looking pretty attractive to initiate a position. And yes, not just 5800, I think 5800 would be a pretty conservative first target for Coforge, but I would actually expect the stock to rally beyond its previous high because it has a pretty strong trend going on right now. For Sachin, let's take a look at Tata Steel. His cost price is 167, but strong decline, and this decline was also against very strong volumes, and it seems like Tata Steel has been rallying and rallying and rallying without any real rest for a long time. So I am not feeling very bullish on Tata Steel right now. I would want to see Tata Steel kind of come back on the level of 40, at least on the daily time frame, come close to the 250 EMA and take a bounce back for my own comfort to believe that it can go on, at least take a 50% correction to this massive rally that has unfolded. So my first support is 142 and my second support is around 136, and in between that level only I would consider going long on Tata Steel again. As for your position, let's take also a look at the 75-minute time frame. I would recommend that you exit. The 15 and 75-minute time frames are not looking strong for Tata Steel. Harshit wants to know whether MRPL looks attractive. He is considering going long on MRPL. Now, MRPL is one of the FOMO stocks which have been getting popular among retail traders. But let me tell you that buying stocks after the rally is never going to make you money. And the same story is for MRPL. The momentum is clearly at a loss. Whether the momentum is going to come back or not is very difficult to say at this point. I believe not, because this is a highly cyclical stock, in the sense that once it comes into momentum, it sustains that momentum for a while, and now that it has already started to decline, the 75-minute time frame, daily time frame, 15-minute, everything seems to be in the bearish range. So I wouldn't expect this stock to be in rally for a while, so I would steer clear of this because of the lack of conviction on chart. Now let's take a look at Ashok Leyland, bought at the average cost price of 24.55. Definitely something wrong in the average cost price that you have mentioned, but a short-term purchase, so I would assume that you've purchased it quite recently. And Ashok Leyland, well, the underlying momentum continues to look strong on the stock. Short-term, clearly there's a bit of a disturbance here. But then Ashok Leyland is also kind of stock which takes a little bit of time when it comes into correction, and it does look like it has come into correction. So for the short term, I don't think Ashok Leyland is looking very attractive for the time being. I would want to see it take a bit of a breather, bit of a correction, and then maybe reassess entry again. So again, 50% mark is what I would want to see tested for good, not in this spiky fashion. I think this level of 50% can again be retested. By the way, for a lot of stocks, the analysis that I'm doing does suggest that the low of 4th of June Forge can be retested, including on the broad market. So if you want to catch stocks at low, I would suggest you use your GTT buy orders, and in strong stocks just place GTT buy orders on the 4th of June lows, and I think you'll be able to get some pretty good stocks in your holding in the next few weeks. JSW Infra for Mr. Nirmal Jain at 277 cost price. Long-term and short-term view on the script, he's bought around 277. To be honest, infra stocks have run up a lot for sure, and that's the problem. This seems to be a bit of a FOMO purchase. I understand that you might have missed a lot of the infra rally, but if you want to benefit from such a rally, then try to buy stocks which are giving turnaround signals, not stocks which have already posted massive rallies like this JSW Infra. Now that being said, taking a look at the 75-minute time frame, I am seeing mixed signals on the volume and big negative divergence on the 75-minute time frame. So again on JSW Energy also, I would expect a period of correction. Maybe the 100 EMA might get retested. So for the short term, this does not look very attractive, and I am unable to comment on JSW Infra's long term outlook because I haven't studied the fundamentals of this stock, and technically there is not a lot of price data to really comment on the outlook for the long term for this specific stock. So Avinash and he wants to know the long term outlook. Now I am not aware of the fundamentals of this stock, so I am going to look at the long term price activity and try to help you out with my opinion. And now here I can see that this stock is moving in a very well defined upward channel, and within the channel also it has created internal trend lines. It has been trying to breach this internal trend line for a while, but it has been failing to do so repeatedly, maybe owing to our election results, maybe, but it's been failing since before, since April itself it's been failing. So I don't think it's the election results that have anything to do with it not being able to cross above the resistance. And since it has not been able to cross above the resistance, I would expect it to come and retest the level of 227, 220. If it can sustain above that level, then maybe we can witness a turnaround. But if it fails to sustain the level of 200, say 15 to 220, we can expect further correction in the stock, which can take the stock to sub 200 levels. So my overall outlook on Nubro Capital is not that attractive given the most recent price. Kiran Kumar, so we are asking for the analysis of IEX, and his message is that he's been holding the stock since 2 years. Could I study the stock and help him with my advice? Of course I will. Now from a long term perspective, IEX looks really attractive. See, it might look like that IEX has not been giving any rally since 21, but what you need to understand that this stock IEX is not a short term mover, it's a long term trender, which means that if you look at this rally, right, this was a 7 in a matter of around 2 years. And this is how the stock prefers to move. Right now, the movement that I'm seeing here, it looks like a very textbooky rounding bottom. It has a strong resistance at the level of 170. So as long as it can sustain above 170, I believe it will go into a strong rally. And why I believe that it will go into a strong rally is because on the daily time frame there is a very strong positive divergence that has already unfolded on the chart, and the positive range shift also that we are experiencing over here is another indication that a rally might come. So IEX is actually very attractive for long term. I am personally just waiting for it to sustain above the level of 170 rupees. So here I would say long term breakout. By the way, you see me setting these alerts, so this is also a skill set. This allows you to manage your research, manage your active positions, and I am right now running an early bird discount on my advanced swing trade training program. So if you're interested in learning swing trading and chart analysis and systems and workshops from me, then do join me for the advanced swing trade training program. Now let's look at Hindustan Unilever for Munindra. 3 months back your purchase has been, you skipped the stop loss and it has gone down. Now it's come back around 2600. So should you hold for long term or not? So seems like you purchased the stock right at the top, and if you actually look at my past coverage of Hindustan Unilever, I have been warning people against holding on to the stock, and since then the stock did decline 15%. Now the stock has recovered 21% fairly quickly after testing the level of 30 on RSI daily. From a long term perspective, if we saw, now my issue with Hindustan Unilever is that on the weekly time frame the stock seems to have gone into a bit of a bear range, which does not give me a lot of strength or a lot of confidence on the stock. So my long term resistance on the stock is around the level of 2750, and unless the stock breaks above this resistance with very strong volumes, I wouldn't be too convinced to create any position whatsoever. Sure, in the last few days we've seen strong rally, which makes sense. The market has been extremely volatile, so FMCG stocks are natural defense mechanisms for the market when volatility is rampant. So all FMCG stocks have given fantastic rallies, but does that mean that FMCG stocks are extremely attractive? I don't think so. I think there are much better opportunities in the market right now. So for Hindustan Unilever, if there is a breakout above 2750 with strong volumes, then my view would stand invalidated. Next, let's take a look at POCL, that is Poxy Oxides and Chemicals. Again, a new stock, a new challenge. And here, based on the trendline analysis, it looks like the stock is in a bit of a correctionary phase, but is this stock ready to start rallying again? Fairly new stock, a little difficult to look at the technicals, but this rebound that we've seen was not associated with volumes, which makes this a weak rebound, and I would expect another leg of correction. It looks like the level of 580 to the level of 551 is strong support. I would wait to see what the stock does there and then take a judgment on whether it's a good idea to go long on the stock. Right now it looks a little bearish from the short term perspective. Now let's take a look at KNR Constructions for Sankrit. 270 you're saying is your cost price. Let's see. So naturally fresh entry is not recommended because just look at this chart, absolute mayhem, massive moves here, and these moves are also being backed by very strong volumes. So even if the stock can give a bit of a correction like it did here, even if the stock can dip 50%, I think you should continue to hold the stock, and your stop loss on the stock should be around the level of 325. Let's take a look at Maharashtra Bank. His cost price is 72. So you've bought the stock very close to the top, but unfortunately this does not look like a great purchase or a great stock to hold on to from either short term or long term. I think the better part of the rally is unfortunately behind the stock, and you might find yourself being stuck right at the top, which is not a very nice situation to be in. My recommendation to you would be to exit the stock right away. On the daily time frame, I can see loss of momentum, and that makes the risk significantly high on with regards to holding on to the stock. Also, the decline on the election results day was backed by very strong volumes, which again makes it pretty unattractive. Now let's take a look at Polycab. For you've mentioned your cost price is 6403, and the recovery which Polycab has shown since the bad news has been phenomenal. Unfortunately, I see that the volume is a little bit absent here. That being said, let's continue looking at the 75 in the daily 15-minute time frame. The 75-minute time frame continues to look pretty bullish. The 15-minute time frame is a little, I would say, disturbed because of the election. But overall, I wouldn't suggest that you have to book your profits right away. You can hold on, continue to hold on to the stock, but please do maintain your stop loss somewhere around this level, 6750. So if I had seen this stock request of yours, if you had come to me sooner, this is the same level that I would have asked you to maintain your stop loss at. But I'm guessing that you probably bought this stock during the decline, which was a smart move. But that being said, please make sure that you are using stop loss at around 67.50 on this stock. Now let's look at REC Limited for Dharmendra Rajput, and his cost price is 448. Unfortunately, there seems to be a massive negative divergence here on the daily time frame of REC Limited. And also, if you look at the historical price, REC has already rallied significantly without any real correction. So you don't want to get stuck in a stock near its high, especially when it's experienced such a huge sell-off with massive volumes. So I think REC can take before it goes back into strong rally. And for now, my recommendation to you would be to book your profits and exit. Now let's look at LTIM. For his cost price is 4717, and there's a very interesting statement accompanying his request. He says that currently target is 5,000 in around 2 weeks. Now remember that this stock is aggressive given that the stock there is a positive divergence on the 75-minute divergence on the 70. The stock is meet the previous high. It's a little bit aggressive at this point. I think is that the volume has to recover. That is good, but IM is not a stock that long term does me. So it has previous rally and scale of things. This correction is actually not that significant. The previous rally, and that shows us 0.8%. Historically, if you see, this is quite a bit of its previous at all. 0.2%. It has retraced long term. The stock is, and my expectation is that correction, I take it to its previous lifetime high, which is around 55%. Now, which for some reason is against this is one of the stock. Moreover, that occurred the last, but the selling that occurred on the election day was back. What the stock is lost down, or is it in reversal? Sheetal stopped positive divergence again 5-minute time frame as well to wait. Expect your position. Disclaimer, I'm sorry, advisory options. Just trading options on the basis of analysis of price action is not enough. You also need to take into consideration how to do that right choice for you, right? HCL Tech and at 1.3, but for that to get point, and even of 1300 is your queries going forward. Why not as well just fill up this form at the top of my head and back to you during my live session itself. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great day.